here are the 5 things, just to recap. Do I remember them? It's been like 5 minutes, so why would I remember all 5? That's stupid. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dork Side. Before we jump into today's topic, a public service announcement. Did you know, according to incredibly legitimate and not at all made it up just now by me for the purposes of self-promotion studies, in very prestigious scientific journals such as Dork Science Monthly and This Is Totally Not a Fake Journal.com, have repeatedly found that subscribing to dorky motovlogging channels has been proven to increase male virility by a factor of 5. That's right. Women will find you more attractive, men will be terrified and in awe of your masculinity, and your sexual prowess will be amplified to heights you could never imagine. And the way to achieve these amazing benefits is simple. You just click the little red subscribe button. You don't even have to click out of the window. If you just mouse over the Dork in the Road logo in the bottom right hand corner, you can subscribe right there and not even interrupt your viewing experience. You don't have to thank me. I'm just here as a servant of mankind, hoping to spread the joy of sexual virility to all. So please, do yourself a favor and subscribe. I'm actually going to do some freeway time, which is my first lengthy freeway experience. I've done about 5 miles at a time, but never the 20 or so we're about to do. So here we are, getting on the freeway. This scared the shit out of me last summer, and I didn't ride on the freeway at all. I'm a little more confident now, but still a little nerve-wracking getting on the freeway. This bike, the CB500F, which I love, isn't great at speeds above about 75, so you got to be careful. You're going to get passed, is basically. It can survive on the freeway, but it doesn't excel on the freeway like some bikes. So here we go, onto the freeway. And while we ride today, assuming you can hear me over the wind noise, got earplugs in, so it's not as bad for me. So I've talked about all the things I love about the 500F, and I really do love it. It's a great bike, but it's not perfect. No bike is. And so I thought it might be good to talk a little bit about 5 things I hate about the CB500F. Now, I've ridden it for a year. It's got 3,400 miles on it, so I'm not like an expert to end all experts, but I have enough seat time to come up with a few opinions. So let's get right into it, shall we? So just remember that I love this bike, and any complaints I have are minor complaints, and this is sort of a tongue-in-cheek video designed to highlight some of the flaws, but not to talk somebody out of purchasing a bike like this, because overall it's a beautiful, beautiful cycle. I love it a lot. So, number 1, since we're on the freeway, number 1 complaint, that guy can't see me, it's not great on the freeway. So she'll do 75, but not what I would call comfortably, and I wouldn't want to do it for long periods of time. 6th gear is really low geared, and the naked bike, even with my windscreen, you're getting buffeted pretty hard. Without it, I can't imagine it would be very pleasant. So it's not a great freeway bike, which sort of limits your long distance options because it's a little fatiguing to ride it for a long time at high speeds. This guy wants to get past me. So number 1 thing I hate about the CB500F, it's not a great freeway bike, and that is due to the lack of engine displacement, because, you know, it's only a 500 and all that. Number 2, and I've remedied this with a mod actually, number 2 thing I hate, and this is a pretty common complaint on most motorcycles actually, but the stock mirrors, man, if you really want to get an up-close and personal look at your elbows, they're fantastic. I can't imagine a better set of mirrors for looking at your own goddamn elbows. But if for some reason, when you're riding a motorcycle, you want to actually see behind you, they're not great for that. So I would recommend, what I've got is the MotoWorks mirror extenders, and you can see them right here, and they push the mirrors out a couple inches to the outside of the bike, which is good for vision, but if I drop it, they're going to break right off because now they stick out farther than the handlebars, so I'm hoping not to drop it. So number 2 thing I hate about the CB500F, the mirrors aren't fantastic. They don't stick out far enough to see well behind you. They could be better. Number 3 thing that I hate about the CB500F, the stock grips. I don't know what it is with Honda stock grips. I have 2 Honda bikes and I hate the stock grips on both of them. They feel like hard plastic. When I was a kid, really young, some of the bikes you could buy, kid bikes, had hard plastic tires, kind of like a big wheel, but some of the bicycles had those too, I remember. And they were really hard and unforgiving and had no traction and were just basically all kinds of uncomfortable, and you could literally break them. That's how these grips feel. They feel like that hard plastic. And I don't understand why Honda can't splurge on decent grips when good ones are only like 15 bucks. But I just don't dig it. So the third thing I hate about this bike is the stock grips. They're garbage. I would plan on replacing them if I were buying this bike again. So number 3, stock grips. Number 4, and if you've watched any of the other videos, including the CB500F beginner bike video, you've heard me complain about this before. But this seat is uncomfortable. This ride I'm taking today is going to be about 2 hours round trip, and I'm guessing about halfway there, so a quarter of the way through the trip, my ass will be a sore. Very thin padding, and if you're a larger gentleman, so I'm not small, and this may apply to smaller guys too, I don't know, but for me for sure, because the way the tank and seat come together, you can probably see it in pictures of the bike. I'm not going to look down right now on the freeway, but the seat slopes downward into the tank, so it's not up on top of the tank, it's behind the tank. There's about a 4-inch lip there, and so my balls are just constantly smashed up against the tank. It's super uncomfortable, so my ass is sore and my balls are constantly smashed. That is probably the most frequent annoyance of this bike, the thing that I hate the most about this bike. So number 4, the seat, both the seat itself and the angle of the seat are wildly uncomfortable, and I do not like them. And number 5, the ultimate thing I hate about the CB500F is ironically something that was one of the reasons why I got this bike in the first place, and that's the low seat height. So low seat height, great control, it's easy to put your feet on the ground, I dig that, but what I didn't realize when I was looking at bikes is, while being able to control the bike at a stop is super awesome, you actually spend a lot more time riding with your feet on the pegs than you do with your feet on the ground. And the disadvantage of the low seat height is that my knees are super bent, and my hips too, and so the seating position is actually kind of uncomfortable. I'm not a super tall guy, about 5'10", 5'11", but my legs are super bent because the pegs are right underneath me. Traditional sport bike, my legs would be back behind me. If I was on an adventure bike, it'd be higher up and they wouldn't be as bent, but I don't know that you can get much closer together or a much shorter distance between your feet and your ass than you can on this bike, and after a while it becomes very uncomfortable. So if my ass isn't sore, then my knees and hips are, and I have to spend a lot of time readjusting to compensate for that. So number 5 thing I hate about the CB500F, the seating position. It is uncomfortable. So number 1, not a great freeway bike, okay? Number 2, thing I hate about the CB500F, the mirror position, not fantastic. Number 3 is the grips, hard as hell and uncomfortable. Number 4 is the seat, and number 5, the seating position. The distance between your feet and your ass means that your legs are very, very cramped all the time, and it is uncomfortable. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope that gives you a little insight into the cons of what is overall a very fantastic bike, otherwise a very fantastic bike that I love. And these should in no way dissuade you from purchasing one, but just buyer beware so you know what you're getting yourself into. So, thanks for watching. Got any comments about the bike, please feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to enhance your male virility by punching that subscribe button in the most masculine manner possible. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!
This video is my entry into the motovlogalliance.com and Discord Motovlog Challenge for July.